Hello everybody, my name is Todd of Rated S Games, and I have been invited by my great friend Mari to analyze the lyrics in the songs in Life is Strange, because I listen to them all the time. Also, there are two songs, Kids Will Be Skeletons and The Sense of Me, that aren't going to be on this because they don't have enough lyrics or they have no lyrics. So, each song in Life is Strange's licensed soundtrack appears to have been carefully chosen for reasons greater than just the sound. Sure, they do sound great, they fit the mood of their respective scenes, but their lyrics are also paired with the moments in which they are featured. In some cases, this might provide a little insight on the characters involved, and in others, it's just interesting. So we'll go through them in order, including the ones that haven't even been featured in the game yet. To All of You plays the moment Max puts her headphones in shortly after leaving Mr. Jefferson's room for the first time. It's a tone setter which will loop indefinitely until Max removes her headphones once inside the bathroom. The song appears to be written from the perspective of someone outside of America, romanticizing an American lifestyle that they want for themselves, as is suggested by the opening lines.
To all of you, American girls, it's sad to imagine a world without you. American girls, I'd like to be part of the world around you.
Now, let's remove the assumed role of the singer in this and instead frame this set of lines around Life is Strange. While it's not a particularly patriotic game, aside from David's character and a couple of American flags here and there, Life is Strange is very much about girls, American ones at that. There are relevant male characters, but most of Max's peers, the ones she interacts with, are girls. She lives in a girl's dorm, makes sense. Seems obvious, I know, but it's an important piece for the following lines.
To all of you, American girls in the movies, no one can tell where your heart is. American girls like dollies, with shiny smiles and plastic bodies.
That line, "no one can tell where your heart is," seems to be calling out pop culture media with underdeveloped female characters as far as their motivations are concerned. This would include popular tropes such as the manic pixie dream girl, a sort of whimsical female character who exemplifies all the things that a male lead isn't, which often fail to give the female character any actual reasons for doing things. Likewise, the subsequent two lines are most likely building on this concept that these girls seem like they are not even real characters, like plastic dolls who seem perfect, and unwaveringly so. Life is Strange is, in so many ways, about the exact opposite of that. Just about every female character in Life is Strange has at least some characterization, even just within the first episode. Some characters, such as Chloe and Kate, have very clearly defined motivations. It's obvious to the player what they fear, what they desire. Other characters, like Victoria or Dana, have personality, and while we're not exactly sure what's driving them yet, they behave as though they do have motivations. Victoria's actions all make sense for the character she's been built up as, but multiple times by the end of episode 3 we've seen signs of inner turmoil and frustration from her. To All of You is perfectly attuned to setting the stage for the rest of Life is Strange in this regard. Santa Monica Dream is a soft, melancholic song which plays after you talk with Chloe about Rachel Amber for the first time. What's interesting is, lyrically speaking, it's a song about moving on after a painful separation, but in a way that's ironic, because Chloe's not exactly moving on.
Goodbye to the roses on your street. Goodbye to the paintings on the wall. Goodbye to the children we'll never meet, and the ones we left behind.
The song is called Santa Monica Dream, but it's about more than just the dream itself. It's about how things used to be around the dream. The singer isn't miserably listing all these things she had to leave behind. She's lovingly sending them off, accepting that she'll probably never see them again. This song is about Chloe and Rachel. It's the song Chloe needs to hear, but not the one that she's singing.
I'm somewhere, you're somewhere. I'm nowhere, you're nowhere. You're somewhere, you're somewhere. I could go there, but I don't.
The chorus is pretty self-explanatory, although again, one little change and it's all too perfect. Were the final line to be, "I would go there, but I can't," then this would wrap Chloe and Rachel up pretty perfectly.
Wondering where you are. Do I really wanna know? You're making love now to the lady down the road. No, I don't wanna know.
After episode 3, when we start to learn more about what Rachel might have been up to behind Chloe's back, it's clear this song wasn't just meant to reflect on Chloe's current situation as of episode 1, but to share insight into how things might be as of now. Chloe's obsessed with finding out where Rachel went, and in doing so, maybe uncovering why she's not here anymore. Maybe it'd be best for Chloe if she didn't know. Piano Fire is a pretty surrealist song, so a lot of the lyrics are kinda out there to the point that there's not quite a lot to extrapolate from it. It might just be a rockin' song to distract you from how awkward Chloe feels after her intimate conversation with Max. However, I do think there's something worth noting in the chorus. In this moment, Chloe and Max are being honest with each other about their worries with all these new developments at Blackwell. This piece closes out your time at Chloe's house as well, a piece of the game dedicated to exploring Max and Chloe's past. Both of the final lines of the chorus point to having to push through one's extrinsic inhibitors, the things which have built up over time and stifled who they are, for them to discover their feelings. Obstacles plays during the ending moments of the first episode. It's actually quite clever, beginning with "Let's say sunshine for everyone," just as Chloe grabs Max's shoulder. As far as parody is concerned, much of the lyrics are pretty bang-on surface-level stuff.
Someday we will foresee obstacles through the blizzard, through the blizzard.
This is followed by echoing of Blizzard, so yeah, pretty here's what's happening, folks. But overall, the song is about growing up, summarizing the past with these lines.
We played hide and seek in waterfalls. We were younger.
And suggesting the connection between everyone in this game in the closing lines of the second verse.
Today we will sell our uniform, live together, live together.
It's a pretty simple song though, not much else to it. Feels nice, huh? It got me all emotional. I was like, wow, this game is not fucking around. Easily the best musical intro to an episode of a game ever, Something Good gets you so ready to get back into the mystery of Life is Strange. As the camera pans over Max's room, showcasing everything she's been up to since the night before, you see that she's been busy? Yeah, busy. The song is a metaphor for the excitement of pursuit contrasted against the relative calmness after it ends. In the song's case, a crush. In Life is Strange's case, it's a little less cut and dry.
Hit the floor before you go. Matador, escocada, your mind, let's fall.
Like a couple of songs in the game, I feel like this is another one of foreshadowing. Certainly this time in Max's life will be one of the most exhilarating she'll ever experience, like an unimaginable emotional high. Max didn't ask for this, it wasn't something that she came to Blackwell to pursue specifically, but she did want adventure, and, well, she sure as shit got one now. Of course, after all the hype in episode 1 and her studies the night before, now it's time to return to real life and go back to class. Not that it'll be any easier that day, but she doesn't know that yet. Hence, hitting the floor, coming back to Earth. As for the Matador Estocada line, the whole song is an illustration of a matador losing a bullfight. The estocada is the final blow with the sword in a matador fight intended to end the bull's life.
48,000 seeds, bleeds and rolls, my memories of you. Now that I am
As this verse illustrates, the matador loses. But remember, being a matador is the high. The person experiencing it isn't the matador, so perhaps when this is all over, Max will live, but the powers will be gone. All she'll have left are memories of this week and the fallout of its events. Lastly, there's the very first lines of the song.
Something gold. Oh, something gold. Oh, something good. Oh, something good tonight. Make me forget about you for now.
Getting over this time in her life, yeah, she's gonna need something good to get over, well, whatever it is that she ends this week with. Crosses is probably my favorite song in this game, because it is Kate's song. Crosses plays once Max puts her headphones in on the way to the diner after talking with Kate in her room, looking pensive the whole time. This was such a great transition. Anyway, first of all, the song is called Crosses. Kate is very religious, and while they don't specify which religion she aligns herself with, we can see the old J-man here in this poster, and in most Judeo-Christian faiths, crosses are sort of a big deal. Moving on.
Don't you know that I'll be around to guide you through your weakest moments, to leave them behind you, returning nightmares, only shadows. Cast some light and you'll be alright.
I don't want to make assumptions of religion on behalf of Kate's character or the writers, mostly because personally I'm not very well acquainted with the subject, but also because I think the song actually refers to Kate and Max's relationship and the series of events which play out in Kate's story. Kate's time at Blackwell is a dark time for her as of late, but not just because of all the fucked up shit that's happened, but because she specifically does not remember much of this night which came back to haunt her. Her worst day is surrounded in shadow, and Max endeavors to help her push back that shadow. Whether or not she guides Kate is up to you as a player, but certainly, Max is there for Kate's weakest moments at the very least.
Sirens inside you, waiting to step forward. Disturbing silence, darkens your sight.
Directly after Kate makes it down from the roof, she'll be taken away by an ambulance for one reason or another. Darkness could be the relatively dim lighting of her hospital room, or it could be the cold and unfortunate nature of death, a commentary on its finality. Now, the song cuts no matter what before this point, but the final lines continue Kate's story.
The streets outside your window, overflowed. People staring, they know you've been broken. Repeatedly reminded by the looks on their faces. You know that tonight I'll be alright.
Everyone comes to support Kate, no matter what her outcome is, and everyone knows what happened and why, at least on the surface, and they feel guilt, they feel helpless, they feel miserable. Life is Strange is a game about empathy, and Kate's story is, thus far, the strongest illustration of this. As the song points out, however, sometimes the pain people feel over the pain they've caused you only reminds you that there was pain to begin with. Mount Washington plays as episode 2 comes to a close while Max and Warren watch the eclipse. It breaks into full stride for the overview of everyone's positions as of the end of day 2, an emotional song for an emotional day. The line, "I don't have to see you right now," echoes throughout this song as accompanied by the opening lyrics.
Face stain in the ceiling. Why does it keep saying?
As the characters all try to get past what happened, to forget it, to move on without dealing with it. And many people, despite time, will do their best to avoid dealing with it, as illustrated by the second verse.
Digging like you can bury something that cannot die. We could wash the dirt off our hands now. Keep it from living underground.
Life is Strange tackles some heavy subjects, suicide being one of the heaviest. When someone's life is pushed to such an extreme as Kate's is, everyone around them is affected, some more than others. This verse illustrates the gravity of that. Kate's actions, for as long as the timeline sustains them, will be something everyone at Blackwell has to carry with them forever, regardless of their role and how it played out. And what's more, it's not about Kate's guilt or Kate's role in all this. It's about everyone else's. Lua plays as Max and Chloe are lying in Chloe's bed after narrowly escaping the pool the night before and reflecting on their time together when they were younger. It's also a super long song lyrically, so I'm going to just focus on one verse to illustrate my point.
And I know you have a heavy heart. I can feel it when we kiss. So many men stronger than me have thrown their backs out, trying to lift it. But me, I'm not a gamble. You can count on me to split the love I sell you in the evening. By the morning won't exist.
This is the third verse, and like most of the other verses, most of its lines are observations coupled with reflections on the singer's experience with the person in these scenes. These two characters in the song appear to be depressed, escaping their problems each night, and having to deal with them again each morning. Just like every day, Max and Chloe's lives get crazier and crazier, harder to accept, harder to deal with, and further from what they used to be. I don't think they're as depressed as the people in this song, but you can tell they miss what they used to have, and it weighs on them in this trying time. Alright, we're into the future songs now, so I'll keep these brief as they are predictions, but assuming that this is the final soundtrack, you may consider these things to be spoilers, even though I'm just guessing. That said, Got Well Soon will likely be played during the Vortex Club pool party, as it's a song about conforming and in-grouping, committing to things that you may not agree with for the sake of fitting in. There's even swimming in the third line. How fitting. The long-running theme of the Vortex Club has been that it sucks people in and doesn't let them out, changes them to fit their own standards, and affects its surroundings haphazardly in this nature. Most likely, if you agree to going to the party, Max will be confronted with an opportunity to time travel her way into their good graces, for better or for worse. Mountains, I think, will be played at the end of episode 4, most likely coinciding with someone leaving or attempting to leave. Perhaps they'll find Rachel, perhaps Chloe will leave to find her on her own, or perhaps we'll just be approaching that moment in the game in preparation for episode 5. This is the only verse of the song which is repeated multiple times throughout. For those unfamiliar, the city of Los Angeles, where Chloe and Rachel endeavored to go, is surrounded by the San Gabriel and Santa Monica Mountains, in the area often referred to as the LA Basin. Elsewhere, this could be foreshadowing for returning to the lighthouse, which is up what appears to be, if not a mountain, then a sizable hill, near Arcadia Bay. It's also a notably melancholic song, yet it still keeps a quick tempo. They might be ready to run away, but they don't seem like they want to. And lastly, in my mind, will be the final song in the game. I know that this may seem dismissive, but this entire song is about learning to deal with who you are. It's a long song with lots of lyrics, and I know this is an analysis video, but seriously, this is not a deep meaning song. The singer very clearly recounts the ways in which she was insecure, the way she felt deficient. At the same time, she explores who she wants to be and who she is, and slowly realizes that perhaps she's already good enough for herself. Max came to Blackwell seeking an island of treasure and adventure, and she certainly gets it. But what that treasure is will be up to her. Perhaps being okay as a sort of awkward person, being okay with people not liking her, being okay with her photography skills being both lauded and rejected, being okay with being Max will be that treasure. Or maybe I'm being cheesy because I like my videos to end on a note of emotional satisfaction. Thanks for watching, and thanks for having me, Mari. You're such a great friend. Ugh.